Cooking with Steve.
Hello and welcome to the kitchen of Steve. You've joined us for another edition of Cooking with Steve. I'm going to take you on a trip to Jamaica, man. We are going to eat lentils tonight. If you take a step over here, thank you Ava, by the way, for being our photographer today. We are going to cook lentils. We have a bag of lentils, 2 of these boxes of chicken broth, 4 carrots. I have them in order from largest to smallest. 4 arms of celery, a large carrot, and this U-shaped sausage. Also have this bell pepper, which I typically wouldn't put in there, but as you can see, it needs to get cooked. So, I'm going to cook that. Welcome to Jamaica again, and I know what you're thinking. Oh my gosh, it looks like Steve got a haircut. You would be correct, I did. Thank you, Stephanie RN, for cutting it for me because my normal barber wasn't in. Well, I'm going to go ahead right now and get these lentils poured in this bowl. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse them off, make sure we got all the dirt and dust and stuff off of them. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to get, while I'm rinsing these off, I'm going to get the carrots peeled and the carrots, celery, green pepper, and the onion all diced up. And then we'll come back to you when we're ready to start putting it on the stove. See you then. Gentlemen, welcome back to Jamaica. I wanted to give you a little quick tutorial of how I'm cutting these celery and carrots up to make them about the same size. Alex, please excuse yourself. Come here, Ava. I'll show you real quick. So what I did is I took that arm of celery, cut it in half, basically quartered it. So the idea is to get all the celery pieces about the same size. The onion is already chopped up. The green bell pepper is already chopped up, and I also previously forgot to mention to you that we're going to use a big clove of garlic there too. So celery's easy. The carrot now, that one is a little bit more complicated. You can see all the cuts that were needed to try to get this to be approximately the same size. Basically, you just got to use a little common sense. Go back to high school and use some of that geometry that you learned so that you can make all this strange spherical thing into nice little cube size things about the same size. Anyway, so I'm going to add these to our bowl here, which you can see with all of our other diced up stuff. I'm going to dice up this garlic, and then we're going to come back to you when I'm going to turn the stove on, and we're going to take the next steps that are needed to make the Jamaican lentils. See you in just a minute. Welcome back to Cooking with Steve and our Jamaican lentil special. What we have done, we've quartered the sausage. We've cut every piece into quarters like such. We've got some olive oil, about three tablespoons or so in this pot, glistening on the stove. We're going to go ahead and add the sausage to that pot and warm it up, maybe get it a little bit brown. And the reason we're doing this before the vegetables is we want some of the oils and juices to come out of that sausage. Then we're going to add the vegetables, let those go for about 5 minutes. As you can see, got the garlic diced up, everything else is diced and chopped as appropriate. So, we'll see you in maybe 2 minutes or so when I add the vegetables in. See you then. I didn't hear it beep.
It's on.
Hang on a minute.
It's on.
It is on for a minute time. Hello, and welcome back to Cooking with Steve, the Jamaican Lentil Special. Today I have Bubba next to me, better known as Mackenzie Matthews. She is the future of women's MMA. She's a champion kickboxer. She's going to be helping me in the kitchen today. As you can see, she has our bowl of chopped up vegetables, which she will be dumping into our pot. Thank you. Thank you, Mackenzie. All right. And your work here is done. Please put that in the sink. So we're going to give that a nice mix. We're going to let this go for about 5 minutes, get a decent cook going on these veggies here before we move on to the next step. One thing that I like about lentils is they're actually a pretty healthy meal when you cook it like we're doing right now. You got protein, you got a lot of fiber in those lentils, and you got some vegetables, and we're using low sodium, fat-free chicken broth too. So it's really a pretty healthy meal. And if you know anything about me, you know I am a relatively frugal gentleman, and we're going to feed a family of 5 plus have some leftovers, and this all costs approximately $8 at the store today. So we'll come back to you here in just a few minutes, probably about 5 minutes, and then at that point I'm going to drain out the lentils because they're about done rinsing, and then we're going to add them in here along with our chicken broth, and then we'll get seasoning. So we will see you then. Hello, and welcome back to Cooking with Steve. Thank you, Alex. As you might notice, Alex has this hat on. That's because he graduated from 4-year-old preschool last week, and he will be starting kindergarten next year. Yes! Okay, so Ava gave you a glimpse into our pot. This stuff is all cooked to the point where we are ready to add the other stuff. I've opened our 2 boxes of chicken broth. We're going to go ahead and dump those right in like that. Every bit of it. Like that. Okay. There we go. Okay. Alright, now we've got our strained lentils. We're going to dump those in right now. When we drain these out, any of the floating pieces, we just dump down the drain because those were like shells or whatever that stuff is on the outside of the lentils that didn't have anything in the middle, so we got rid of that. I learned this recipe from a friend of mine when I spent some time down in Kingston, Jamaica. This friend of mine is, he's a businessman in Jamaica. He does quite well for himself. And yeah, so he showed me how to make lentils the Jamaican way. Alright, so now we've got our lentils, our vegetables, and our sausage in there. What we're going to do now, oh, by the way, we've been cooking this entire thing on 75% power from the skillet. We're going to get everything seasoned up. Number 1, we need to add some salt. Not do too much because you can always add more salt. We're going to do a little black pepper here. We'll like that there. That's good. Got some paprika. Always like to add paprika. That's some good stuff. Makes everything taste good. There we go. A little bit of chili powder. What you're going to notice is some of these spices we're adding in here are similar to that of what you would use when cooking chili. That's kind of the point here. I like to make the coriander. Like to make the lentils taste a little like chili. You can actually substitute them for chili if you like. Finally, a little bit of cumin. There we go. Alright, so we're done with that. We're going to give it a good mixing. Put the lid on it. Like that. And we're going to let it go for about 25 minutes, and then we're going to check on it. Might take up to 30, but we're going to check on it at 25. So we will come back to you in about 24.5 minutes. See you then.
Welcome back to Cooking with Steve.
Thank you, Alex, and this is Bert the Snake. So, as you can hear, we are finished cooking our lentils. So I'm going to take the lid off here, and we're going to put this into some bowls. And we're going to come back for tasting time in just a second on this Jamaican edition of Cooking with Steve. See you in just a minute, and I'll show you how to garnish, and we will have tasting time.
Welcome back to Cooking with Steve.
Thank
See
you.
here that it's tasting time.
Thank you, Mr. Alejandro. I appreciate that introduction. As Ava showed you, we have garnished our lentils with some mozzarella cheese and a scoop of sour cream. It is now tasting time. Alex, what do you think of the lentils?
So good.
Yes. Bubba, what are your thoughts?
That means yummy.
Okay, thank you for that interpretation, Alex. Wow. These are in fact the best, These are in fact the best lentils that have ever graced the earth. They're incredible. Well, thank you for joining us today on Cooking Lentils the Jamaican Way with Steve and his new haircut. Please comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with all of your friends. We will see you next time on
Cooking with Steve.
Cooking with Steve.